On July 20th, 2012, I recorded lots of speech on a black screen and uploaded it to YouTube. Towards the end, I revealed the creation of the Rewarding the Rewarders opportunity, which came about as a way for me to vent my emotions. See, a little over 2 years ago, I planned on quitting the hobby. Shadowrun was set up to be my final series. There was a distinct lack of time, but more so than that, there was a distinct lack of money. I couldn't support having an internet connection. Long story less long, several viewers battered my will and weathered me down, and I finally agreed to provide a PayPal link where they could donate to me if they so wished. And as you can see, I'm still here with a slow internet connection, less than 1 megabyte upload speed. Ends up being why I don't do more live broadcasts as people have requested, but I guess the job done. In essence, the opportunity I provided last year was a way of me giving something back to them, even though they never asked for anything. However, for some crazy reason during the recording itself, I thought to myself, well, why not give everyone else a chance? So for 12 days, I opened the floor to anyone who wanted to donate to the hobby, and almost all those proceeds went to my college loans. In exchange, I played a game for X amount of hours, X being determined by the value received. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, maybe you're new, here's a list of every game the donators requested of me. Warlock Master of the Arcane, from Crimson, who's one of my players in the Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition tabletop role-playing game. Unreal Tournament 3, from Lethal Feline. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 10 by Stackhanovites. Tower Climb from Griffin God. Lost Dutchman Mind from a user who wished to remain anonymous. Defender of the Crown from Tonberry Toby. The Dig from Liam O'Connor. And the currently in progress Diablo 2, basically a joint venture by Boa the Vulture and Mysterious JJ. Wasn't their first request, and I don't think they initially intended to have both their requests bundled up together, but they wanted me to play Skyrim. That didn't happen. Then there's Phantasy Star 4, Syndicate, Fallout, Metal Marines, Oni, StarCraft, and the currently in progress StarCraft Brood War. All requested by Tiny Shopkeeper, the keeper of tiny shops, the man who played too many shitty games in his childhood, the crazy half-Asian bastard who gave me recommendations on adult entertainment in Thailand. A few of you will also recall the cancelled Shining Force. That was one of his requests as well, along with Shining Force 2, but then Sega happened. He slid 2 others in their places, though, and of the entire opportunity I offered back in mid-2012, I'm down to 4 remaining games, all from him, which I'll actually reveal aloud for the first time. There's Myth 2 Soulblighter, a real-time strategy game developed by Bungie in 1998. Never played it, don't know how easy or difficult it will be for me to record it. Variax is actually currently playing, I think it's Myth the Fallen Lords right now. I haven't taken a look at it. I've also never played that, though. Around the time I was playing StarCraft, so, didn't exactly have more time for more real-time strategy games. There's Thief Gold, a reissue of Thief the Dark Project, a first-person action stealth game developed by Looking Glass Studios in 1999. I have played it, but it's been over 12 years. That's also another game I think Variax just recently finished a series of. I didn't take a look at that, primarily because I knew that I would be playing that as well, and I figured I'd just keep myself near blind. There's Fallout 2, the post-apocalyptic isometric RPG developed by Black Isle Studios in 1998. I have played it, but I'm not as familiar with it as I am in the original Fallout. Currently, Plump Helmet Punk has an ongoing series of the game, and all of the Fallouts are, to varying degrees, quite popular for this hobby. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have played Fallout, or going to be playing Fallout 2, were it not for them being requests. And the final game on the list was a game that was the very first Tiny Shopkeeper ever requested. The first one I was going to do all the way back in August before Phantasy Star 4. A game I love so much, I even had a few unofficial modifications for it, just to make sure it ran well on my modern computer. Only I couldn't get it to record just right. The game was too unstable. My frame rate was stone cold. The screen flickered. I tried everything I could think of. Nothing. But when Tiny Shopkeeper and I met this past Sunday over several sushi rolls, he said, "Howard," that's my real name, Howard, "I've been thinking." What, you think I go through my entire life being called Grimith? That'd just be awkward. I introduced myself to a bunch of children. "Hello, children, my name is Grimith." Yeah. I mean, I've been called many things by children over the years, like Sea Monster and what have you. Then I'd chase them around, we'll have a good time. But, Grimith, not high on the list. Oh, by the way, little Timmy's parents, I base my persona off the Grim Reaper because of my morbid fascination with the undeaf that has been in existence ever since I've been a teenager. You should see all this angst-filled poetry I wrote. Tangent aside, Howard, I've been thinking, Good Old Games did a release of it, and I've been hearing it's more stable as well as fully compatible with modern operating systems. Why don't we give it another shot? Well, we bought it and tried it on the spot in his hotel room, recording at maximum quality and all, and it worked. File size was extreme for me, but it worked. Of course, at this point, so many people have been doing series of this game. It's quite popular, and it has deservedly won a position as one of my 10 most favorite games of all time. Should I say the name of this final game or not? I mean, I can't just have people anticipate forever and ever about the damn thing. Then they'll be all like, "Oh, this is the game you're gonna play? I thought you were talking about some other game." I know a few people will have correct guesses, but nah, it's System Shock 2. I'll be playing that on Impossible. Anyway, once I finish up with those four, along with Brood War and Diablo 2, of course, I'll be done. At my rate, even though I've slowed down numerous occasions to do my own thing, like all the Civilization 4 playthroughs, like Game Biz 3. It's looking like I'll have cleared the entire list before the end of July, which means that I'll have finished all these games in less than a year. What does that mean? Over this past year, I've been enriched by experimenting with games I never would have otherwise played. Oni. Being a primary example. We created memories, and I say we because it wasn't just me who was involved. The viewers who contributed to the running commentary for all of those above games played a role as well. The Dig being another good example. And along the way, I don't regret any of the experiences. Certainly, some of the games were better than others, and a vast sum of money would have to be involved in order for me to play another Phantasy Star game. But the experience was overall a pleasant one, and that is why I am now opening this opportunity again to my viewers. From the time you watch this video to the end of June? No, we'll say July. To the end of July 2013, you have the power to donate to my channel through my PayPal account. I know not everyone likes PayPal or can even use it, and it does take a percentage of all donations, but the service is convenient for me. Of course, you've always had the power, regardless. I just don't like to advertise the fact that it exists. But for a donation, and here's where the real power comes in. For a donation of at least $25, I will play a game of your choosing for 1 hour. $50, 3 hours. $100, 7 hours. And a donation of at least $200, I will play a game of your choosing for 15 hours. Or, if you'd like, I could break that up in, like 2 7-hour games instead. If I haven't finished the game by the listed time, I'll do a gut check and see whether I want to keep playing. So far, I've finished every game requested, no matter whether I went over my time or not, and in some cases, I've gone above and beyond the request. Lethal and I didn't just play Unreal Tournament 3, we also played 2004 and the Classic, and we even allowed our viewers to join us. That was great fun there. The requests I received last year meant something to me. They still do. And while I might dislike the game and perhaps repeatedly insult your childhood, as I've done to Tiny on numerous occasions, I'll still do it, and there'll be a sick sense of pleasure I derive from it. I like complaining. Now, there are some stipulations. I have to be able to record the game. My hardware has limitations, and I don't exactly know off the top of my head whether I can record something until I try it, although I can do an eyeball test. I can play advanced games, but I either suffer limited frames per second while trying to record them, or I simply can't do it at all. Unreal Tournament 3 is a good example. I can play it on max detail, no problems. Can't record it. Hell, I'm lucky if I get 10 frames per second while recording Civilization 4. I could do Oni just fine, and obviously, System Shock 2 is going to do great, even with the graphic updates that have been made to it. But that is an older game. Basically, if they're like graphically or 3D intensive, they'll probably have to be older games. Any dreams you might have me playing Skyrim a la JG? Not happening. Not unless I get paid in new computer money instead of, United States dollars. Because I'm a Scrooge until my college loans are finished. The game also has to be YouTube safe, so the hentai visual novel? Sorry. I'm not going through, all of the video and having to place censor bars everywhere and maybe mute sound at some points. That just sounds like too much effort. Finally, I need to either have the game or, barring that, be able to find it somewhere. I visited a classic game store for the Phantasy Star 4 cartridge. I have many potential resources I can tap, but the request can't be so obscure that I can't fulfill it at all. Well, Grimith, why don't you just pirate... No. I mean, I don't have a problem with finding these games and buying them, if I don't already own them, just... I'm going to have official, legitimate copies of them in some fashion or format. When you make your donation through PayPal, you have the opportunity to type a message to the recipient through a little description box. I ask that you place the name of the game, or games if relevant there. Makes for easy bookkeeping. Should you forget, you may also shoot me an email at my official hobby email address, grimith@voltronarmy.com. I check the inbox regularly. You may also wish to provide contact information in case I can't play the game you requested, so I can get in touch with you about an alternative. For that reason, you may want to actually list multiple games at once to me, in case your first choice doesn't work. Whether I can't find it, or I can't record it, or, it's just a horrible idea, I'll let you know. Any questions concerning this opportunity may be left in the comments of this video, directed to my YouTube inbox, or sent to the provided email address. I'll provide a summary of all the pertinent data, or at least data that I find pertinent in the description for reference. One more thing before I go. I've only ever had 4 people accuse me of this over the past year. At least 4 people I can remember, so it's not some major conversational topic I need to address. Although I have many more. I've had many other people sort of talk about it indirectly. But I would like to touch base with anyone who might interpret this as an attempt to monetize my hobby. Over the past 14 months, I have received 74 partnership requests from a myriad of companies, all meticulously documented and kept in a notepad file, along with several other requests from indie developers asking me to showcase their games in exchange for financial benefits. With the amount of research I've done into video monetization through advertisement, including speaking with a few friends on the matter, eyeballing various things and rates, I can't give an exact number because, I'm not a member of the company, any company, but I have left at least $5,000 on the table. Perhaps more. $5,000 nearly wipes out what's left of my college loans, lifts an incredible financial burden from my shoulders, puts an end to the nights where I'm staring at my popcorn ceiling at 4 in the morning. I mean, it could be a few more $1,000. I don't know. I know it's a minimum at least that, though. There may come a point where future Grimith changes his priorities in life, including his mind, and he decides to accept one of these offers and, achieve the benefits of having a legal team to help him deal with things so he can get, approval to run advertisements on his videos, and as well as some other protections, custom thumbnails, get a banner, and, all sorts of other cool partnership-only features. There may come a point when that happens, but don't you ever question how important this hobby is to me, or how much I value the positive social interactivity, no matter how arrogant or buffoonish I may seem. Take care, everyone. Be well, do good deeds, and, as I am wont to say nowadays, get fucked.